Hi, I am Geoff and welcome back to xHanky Lifestyle TV. We're back with another quick and easy recipe today. We're going to be making a sweet treat, Kiwi style tan square. So let's get started. We're going to start with the base. This recipe does consist of both a base and a topping. So we're just starting with the base with some standard flour. We'll add a little bit of melted butter, a little bit of sugar, and a little bit of vanilla. It's a very simple base. Tan square itself is a traditional New Zealand cake slice that my grandmother used to make. It's a simple and easy recipe, and I think it's quite innovative. It's super quick to make, and it keeps in your biscuit tin or your fridge for at least a week or two. I won't say it's healthy, but I think it tastes better than shop-bought cookies. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, so I've got the flour, the butter and the sugar in the mixing bowl already, and now I'm just adding a little bit of vanilla essence. This is what we call a traditional shortbread base, I guess. So once you've got all that in there, give it a good mix up. Do remember to get in there with your hands if you need to. And the other thing to do is remember we want to make our base and we want to keep a little bit of this mix for later on. And I'll show you something that we do with that later on in the recipe. Anyway, so I'm mixing it up with my hands now, and that's looking pretty good and pretty consistent. Okay, so the next step, this one's optional, but I usually mix a little bit of muesli or some cornflakes maybe in with the base. That's not a traditional part of the recipe, but I do it because it makes me feel a little bit healthier and I like the taste of muesli. So feel free to try something like that yourself. You don't actually need to if you want to make just a traditional shortbread style tan square. Anyway, so I'm getting in there and mixing that up as well. So the base is just about ready to lay down. Okay, next, line a baking tray or a dish with some baking paper. I'm using a dish, but you may like to use a tray. A tray is usually a bit better. And don't forget the baking paper. This makes the cleanup a lot easier, and it also makes cutting the slice after it comes out a lot easier. You can just remove it from the tray and then cut it on a board. So spread out the base and push it out to all the corners and make sure you can press it down as much as you can. So I'm giving it a good push here. We want to push out all the extra space in there so that we've just got solid base. Use your hands here again. Fists and knuckles are good too. Great. So now we've finished the base. We'll get that into the fridge to cool. And now we'll get on with the caramel topping. For the topping, I'm taking some butter, a tin of condensed milk, and I'll get them heating on the pan. You can use a low to medium heat for this. I don't know if you've tried condensed milk, but it's one of my favourites. Goes well in your coffee as well, but it's very, very sweet. And the last ingredient is golden syrup. So I don't know if you can get this where you are. It's very popular in New Zealand, and we use this in tan square. But you could substitute this with maple syrup or honey or any other syrupy type sugar that you have available in your country. Okay, now so we heat this until it starts to simmer, and we keep stirring it all the time, and you will notice it will start to thicken and darken just a little. Then you take it off the heat. So once it's done, we can spread it out on top of the base. So grab the base from the fridge, and now we simply spread the caramel mixture evenly across the base. Take your time doing this. It's important to get it all the way to the edges so you don't waste any of the slice. And now the little secret ingredient, we take the remainder of the base that we talked about leaving before, and we just sprinkle that on top, and it adds a little bit of a sprinkle topping for the cake. Looks really attractive. That's all ready to go. So we take that and we bake it in the oven at around 180 degrees for probably 15-20 minutes. As you can see, I've got a chicken in the oven too. And there you have it. Geoff's Kiwi style tan square. This is great to keep on hand to go with your afternoon tea or your kids' lunches. Once cooled, you can slice it, store it in a container or in a cool, dry place, or even in the fridge. And it will keep for a while. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you try this recipe. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and ding the bell if you'd like to see more of this content. See you in the next one.